Welcome to Hunter Beyond Time and Space Chapter 42. The Killer. Countdown 40 hours and 20 minutes. Qin Chen walked out of the alloy gate as usual, and saw the prisoners on the corridor looking at him with strange eyes, seeming surprised that he appeared again after 5 days. But this time he didn't walk around the corridor, but stood still in place, waiting for the prison broadcast, and then going downstairs with the queue for meals. The prisoners immediately believed the rumors of a few days ago. This young man angered Li Shutong and was locked in the dark room for several days, and even suffered some torture. Therefore, this young man has lost the special treatment in number 18 prison. However, the prisoners still dare not easily provoke him, because Li Shutong can offend the Qin family, but they cannot. During the meal, Lu Guangyi and Qin Chen sat far away from Li Shutong. Qin Chen ate his food with his head down, chewing carefully and making sure the food was chewed before swallowing. His stomach is very fragile now, and he must be careful. Qin Chen didn't say a word during the meal, except for silence. On his side, and on Li Shutong's side, the difference was clear. It's as if they were still good friends a few days ago, but today they are already strangers. The prisoners whispered and gossiped about what happened. Did Li Shutong and the Qin family fall out? Everyone speculates what the taboo item guarded by Li Shutong is, which is worth the other party's vigilance and irritability. At this moment, only Guo Huchan still has a carefree look. He sat next to Qin Chen with a food tray and said cheerfully, "How did you offend Li Shutong and let him torture you like this?" Qin Chen looked up at him. "Are you not afraid of offending Li Shutong by sitting next to me?" Guo Huchan said indifferently, "I'm not afraid of the Spade Financial Group, so why should I be afraid of Li Shutong? Why did you come to me then?" Qin Chen didn't seem interested in this big talker who made empty promises, so he didn't even look at him during their conversation. "I'm different from others. Maybe they value the Qin family behind you, but I value your ability." Guo Huchan said, "I'm serious and I want to invite you, a man with aspirations." "Not interested," Qin Chen calmly said and then got up. He threw his plate to Lu Guangyi to wash and then walked alone towards the reading area. After walking just a few steps, he seemed to lose his strength and fell to the ground. Fortunately, he caught himself with his hand before he embarrassed himself. Qin Chen got up and continued walking. Unknowingly, 2 prisoners had followed him without his notice and were approaching him carelessly. But in the next moment, Qin Chen, who had been weak just now, suddenly turned around and looked at the 2 men. The boy's clear eyes were particularly oppressive, as if he had seen through the 2 of them. The 2 prisoners were stunned for a moment. They looked at each other as if they had made a decision, and then suddenly each took out a sharpened toothbrush handle from their waistbands and rushed towards Qin Chen. In Qin Chen's eyes, the hydraulic drive shafts on their mechanical legs suddenly exerted force, and he could even see steam spraying from their steel limbs. It wasn't a physical reaction caused by the prosthetic limbs, but rather the mechanical structure of the prosthetic limbs crushing the air, instantly vaporizing the moisture in the air. However, they had just leaped up and rushed over, and at the same time, they closed their eyes and fainted. Qin Chen stood still and bent down as the 2 men brushed past him, flying behind him and rolling over 10 times on the ground before finally stopping. The 2 men could not stand up again, and their consciousness had been tightly bound by Lin Xiaoxiao's nightmare. Qin Chen squatted down beside them and observed, while Lu Guangyi came over and used his mechanical arm to pry open their mouths, forcibly removing their back molars. The prisoners were all stunned, and no one saw what had happened. Everything happened too quickly. They didn't know why the 2 prisoners had attacked Qin Chen, nor did they know how they had fallen. Lu Guangyi held a back molar in his hand and showed it to Qin Chen. It was clearly a silver poison sac. At that moment, Qin Chen understood that the 3 dead soldiers who had died before were not there to find Li Shutong, their target was, him. These 2 dead soldiers came in 5 days ago, along with Chuanshou person Jian Sheng. At that time, everyone's attention was on Jian Sheng, but even in the midst of the chaos, Qin Chen noticed something strange about these 2 people. At first, he didn't pay attention, but on the 4th day in the dark room, Qin Chen was increasingly lonely, but more sober, to the point where everything unusual that had happened before went through his mind. So he gave the other side a chance to be alone and weak. To determine who those dead soldiers were really after. If these 2 people don't take action, he will still find them out. If they do take action, the answer will be revealed immediately. Calculating the time, the first group of assassins came in with him. Therefore, when he crossed over on the first day, someone wanted to kill him. If he hadn't found Li Shutong as soon as possible and made the other party wary, he would have died long ago. The assassins who came in later seemed to have received a death order. They were so urgent that they would kill themselves just to kill him. Who wanted to kill him? Was it the other shadow candidates? Qin Chen couldn't be sure, but that was the most likely answer. It seems that the struggle for the shadow is even more dangerous than he imagined. Within the Qin family consortium, the shadows who specialize in dirty work are ruthless, and only those who are willing to eliminate dissidents are worthy of being shadows. In this dark competition among the 9 participants, it was never about who was better at completing tasks, but who was more ruthless and decisive. At this moment, 4 mechanical prison guards ran over information. However, they did not harass Qin Chen, but directly carried the 2 dead soldiers out. Qin Chen knew that they would face extremely harsh interrogation and punishment, as he had just experienced. "Boss, what do we do now?" Lu Guangyi asked. "Wait for them to speak," Qin Chen replied, then glanced at Lin Xiaoxiao across the space and walked towards the reading area. At night, peace was restored in the number 18 prison. As Qin Chen lay on his bed thinking, the alloy gate of his cell suddenly opened by itself. He wasn't surprised but quietly walked out, where Li Shutong, Yi Wan, and Lin Xiaoxiao were waiting for him in the gym downstairs. This was prearranged. Li Shutong had something to teach him that couldn't be known by others. Fortunately, after 9 p.m., all prisoners were required to return to their cells, giving Qin Chen enough time to learn how to become extraordinary. Looking at Qin Chen, Li Shutong asked, "Do you have any questions? You can handle other matters before we start the lesson." "Who wants to kill me?" Qin Chen asked. "It hasn't been approved yet," Lin Xiaoxiao next to him said. "These 2 have strong bones. They can grit their teeth through nightmares. They really committed a crime to get here, and no one arranged it, so there's nothing to find out in that regard. Their prosthetic limbs seem to have been specially replaced just to prevent anyone from tracing where they were sold or produced. But don't worry, give me 7 days and I'll give you an explanation." "Thank you," Qin Chen nodded. After some thought, Uncle Li said, "It's always the younger generation of the Qin family who want to compete for the position of shadow leader. It's a dangerous path they must take, so you need to be mentally prepared for it." "Why do they all want to compete for this position?" Qin Chen asked puzzledly. "Is it worth risking their lives even if there's only a slim chance of success?" Uncle Li smiled and replied, "Because, I don't know from which generation of the Qin family the rule was established that only those who have served as shadow leaders can become the head of the family." Thank you for listening to this episode of the audio novel, The Timeless Hunter. If you enjoy this channel, click subscribe for more fascinating English audio novels. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, turn on notifications, or share on social media below so you can find this channel again. Let us know your thoughts. See you next time.